Hey, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to Swahili Sunday, depending on where you're watching. And if you're watching after the fact, thank you so much for watching. We are in hurricane or tropical storm watch. I'm trying to pull up the weather to see what the latest radar looks like. So that's the radar right now. We are right where it shows 71 is where I am right there, that little dot. And the actual bad part of the storm is supposed to be hitting us not until at this afternoon, where we're in a tropical storm warning because of Hurricane Hillary that's just off the coast of Mexico. It's moving its way up here, and it is right now it's drizzling. It's been drizzling since I got up to take Indigo for a walk. So the weather is not as bad as it's meant to get, but they're predicting power outages and flooding and all kinds of things. So don't know what's going to happen, but I did do some things to prepare. So I wanted to show you all what I did to prepare just in case, because there's both. I have internet at our showroom in Santa Ana. I have internet, obviously, at my home, which I'm in my home office right now. And we've gotten things from the electric company saying that there's predicted power outages. And because of the high winds, they are predicting between 25 and 50 mile per hour winds. I don't know what's going to happen. It's not here yet. It's going to be here this afternoon. So I did a few things to prepare just in case the winds got bad and the electricity went out and things like that. As far as my patio, I have an umbrella. I pulled the umbrella down and wrapped it tight. I put bungees over the cover that's on my motorcycle outside, and all the chair covers. I put all the plants on the potted plants that on the ground that were up on little stands and stuff, so they wouldn't get knocked over. Not the really heavy ones, obviously, because of my back. I didn't want to do that. But I put all those things on the ground so the wind wouldn't. If you get up to 50-mile-an-hour winds, it could really knock things around. I've been in strong winds like that before. I've experienced hurricanes before, being more inland. I grew up in San Antonio, Texas, and we weren't far from the Gulf of Mexico. And there were a lot of hurricanes that came through Rockport and Corpus Christi, and we would get the heavy rains from that, and it would in Texas it would kind of make tornadoes. Here it's just, they're saying could be floods, could be, depending on where you are. So here's a few things that I did to prepare for this. Like I said, on my patio, I covered all the I have chair covers, and I strapped them to all the legs, so if the wind tried to take them, they couldn't go. Actually, I found one of my chair covers was torn, so I went and got another one because I really did not want my my seat cushions to get soaked. And then I put all the pots on the ground. But I have a few things in case the power goes out. So they're predicting a power outage. Usually with storms like that, it takes a minute to get the power back up when it goes back out. So I've got all my things charged. The only thing I don't have is a generator, a plug-in generator. I do have one of those plug-in power sources that'll extend the life of my phone. So I actually reminds me I need to charge that up too. But one of the things I have is this handy dandy little thing that my friend Alex gave me, and it's a light and it's charged. But the good thing about this, and it gets brighter, is it also has a little wind up thing. So if the power goes out, you can wind it up and create some more power. So that will give me some light. I do have candles as well. But I went over to my storage and grabbed my camping lantern and got some extra batteries for it because they haven't been used in a while. I think the batteries are probably dead. I don't know, they are. They're still alive. So I have that to actually provide some lighting in the house in case the power goes out. And should it be extreme, I mean, I don't think it's going to happen, but you never know. So it's always good to be prepared. I got this. This is my camping little cook stove. It's got one burner on it, and it runs by a little butane canister, which I have a couple of those. And I probably won't need it, but it's always good to be over prepared. I think this thing's pretty cool. I got it last year when I decided to go camping. It's a single burner, and I went camping last year with this and was able to cook a whole meal in a iron skillet on it. So I grabbed that just for extra precaution. I really don't think that it's going to be needed, but it's always good to be prepared. Now, right outside my door, it does kind of, when it rains heavy, it does kind of get the water kind of builds up a little. I thought about getting some sandbags for there, but my back didn't allow it for me to do something like that. So I decided not to do that. That's the only real concern that I would have, that the water would come, because I guess they're saying you're going to get a year's worth of rain in like a few hours or a day or something. So right now, and I'm looking out there now, and it's drizzling like it was at about, I took him to go out at about 6 a.m. So it hasn't really changed. It's very, very light mist right now. They're not predicting that the real rain is going to come here. And I'm in Orange County, and it looks like maybe parts of LA may get hit worse. The way the thing's going, it's kind of curving on the radar. So I don't know what we're going to get. Went out to the beach yesterday, took Indigo and met up with my son and his dog Gracie and let them run. And the waves were already picking up. The beach was covered with surfers, or actually the beach had surfers, and the water was covered with surfers. My son went out a couple of times, and it was funny because Gracie, his dog, didn't know what to think about that. He started to go out, she started to go with him, and then she's like, oh, wait, this is kind of deep. I don't think I'm going to do that. So she came back, and she's running up and down the beach looking for a way to get to him. And then the whole time she's looking for him, and then he came walking back because the waves had kind of pushed him down a little bit. And then he went out again, and he said he had a good time. Actually, one of his friends wanted to go today, and I was like, ooh, be careful, because the rip tides and all of that coming up could be dangerous. So it's but a lot of surfers, when hurricanes come, they head out because the waves are really big and they want to catch those big waves. It's kind of a phenomenon that doesn't happen very often. Now here in Southern California, I think it's been, I forget what year they said, but like since the 1930s, before we started naming hurricanes, that they actually had a hurricane come ashore in this part of California. There have been several that have been kind of stirring in just off of Mexico, and they usually either do a circle and dissipate, or they actually maybe curve, or they reduce in strength before they come ashore. There hasn't been anything like this since the 1930s. So Southern California, I don't think really knows how to prepare for that. But those of us who have lived in places where there have been hurricanes, we kind of know a little bit about preparation for that. So I just went a little over the top. Like I said, I brought my cook stove, my camping cook stove. Probably won't have to use that, but it's one of those better be safe than sorry things. And then I have the backup bank for my cell phone. The only thing that I don't have, that I have considered getting at some point, was one of those portable generators to take with me if I go camping. But it's always good to have that in your house as well if the power goes out, because as the power goes out, yeah, what do you got, So like I said, I have candles and I have lights. I actually have two of these, which will light up a little bit should the power go out, because with the thing coming in like sometime afternoon, that means the power is going to, if it goes out, it'll be sometime this afternoon. And I wouldn't expect them, if the power goes out all over Southern California, them to get it up really quickly. So it may be on into the night where it's dark. And I did all my laundry yesterday. I went to the grocery store. I filled up with gas, and oh my gosh, I don't know if any of you are in Southern California. I'd love for you to comment on this. I went and got gas on Friday, and the gas was up to $5.49 a gallon. A friend of mine got gas yesterday and said it was up to, and my son also, was like some places were $5.83, some places were over $6 a gallon. I'd love to know what it is in your area in Southern California, how much the gas is. It seems like that the storm's coming and the gas prices suddenly jumped and jumped and jumped. I mean, $5.49 was high because it was I guess about a week or so ago, it was $5.21 or something like that. $100 didn't even fill up my tank. And I decided to get a full tank of gas just in case that the power outage caused problems with the gas stations. Those are other things you have to consider. And I wanted to do that in advance. And I was in Costco picking up my new glasses, actually same frames, but new prescription. New of the same frames and a different prescription. And I thought, okay, well, I'm here. I was going to go to another store and do shopping. I thought, well, I'll just shop here got some water and I needed some other things. And I went into Costco, and the parking lot wasn't that full. When I came out, it was packed and there were people fighting over parking spaces. And I thought, okay, I guess everybody's either doing the prep after work or doing the prep early. Excuse me. So I picked up some extra food. So I had food just to make sure I have food that doesn't require cooking as well in case the power goes out. But I do have my alternative source here that I can cook with should I need to. But it goes back to the think like a negotiator strategy of prepare in advance. You always have to consider preparation. And the one thing I don't have is a go bag. I should actually have a go bag just in case, because of the fire threat we have in SoCal. There was actually a fire a year or 2 years ago, maybe. Was it last year, the year before, where it was we were within 2 blocks of the evacuation zone. They were about ready to start evacuating because the fire was not very far from here and it was moving and they were having a hard time containing it. So we went to, they were going into evacuation mode. And when I noticed it was 2 blocks from my house, I thought, ooh, I better grab some stuff. So I actually put a bunch of stuff in my wheelie bag or my wheelie cart, and then got a go bag ready, and personal documents, important documents like my trust and the computers from work and my personal computer and important things like that. And obviously the pets are important. Got to take those. So I have I have a crate for Meow Mix. I also have a crate for Indigo, but I probably wouldn't take that with me necessarily, or I might. I don't know if I had to evacuate due to a fire. Thankfully, that didn't happen. They lifted the evacuation. They got the fire under control. But the same thing here. If we were to get into a flood situation, they evacuate. They come and they say, you got to go now. I don't know if you've been following that story of all the homes up in Palos Verdes area, Rolling Hills Estates, Palos Verdes area, that 12 home, I think it's 12 or more homes imploded like right into the mountain. And I think, or right into the ground. And I think one of them started to implode, and they came around and told everybody to get out. They had no time to get out, and they had it on camera, this house just kind of crumbling into itself. So when somebody comes and tells you to evacuate, you don't have any time to do that. And thankfully, I don't think that we're going to get to that point. But I am prepared for things like should the power go out and my tank's full of gas, even though it cost me 10 arms and 10 legs. But if I went to fill it up now, I think it would cost even more. I think my son said he saw, when he was coming to meet me at the beach yesterday, saw it was $6, over $6 a gallon in a couple places. It depends where you go. He got it for, I forget how much he said, 5 something, but I paid $5.49. So I'd love to hear in the comments, those of you in Southern California, if you went and got gas in the last couple of days, what you paid for gas, because the gas prices have skyrocketed. It is ridiculous. Luckily, I mean, I use some. I have maybe just a little bit less than a full tank, but I've got a full tank of gas. I have the things I need for that if the power goes out. I have the things that I have. Oh, bottled water. Yeah, I went and got bottled water. And I was surprised people weren't stocking up on bottled. I mean, there was a few people getting some things. I guess maybe people were waiting. I was able to not, the line wasn't very long in Costco when I went through there and got out of there pretty quickly. But like I said, when I got out, the parking lot was crazy. So I think everybody was converging. And I'm sure yesterday it was crazy. I mean, I went to Home Depot to get a new cover for one of my chairs because it had ripped. It wasn't very crowded at Home Depot, but I don't know about the other stores if people were. Hey, Mary, I'm in Irvine. I live in Irvine, so I don't know how is it with you? I don't know if it's drizzling here, so we don't have a lot of heavy rain yet, but I'm prepped just in case. Yeah, just in case. And for those of you who don't know where Irvine is, it's in Orange County. It's about 40 miles south of LAX Airport, 45, I guess 45 miles south of LAX Airport. Not very far from John Wayne Airport. We don't have heavy weather. Oh yeah, you're in Corona. It's just drizzling too. Yeah, I think it's not supposed to hit until afternoon, but I'm prepared. So I'm prepared. All my lights are still on. The internet still works. Nothing's been knocked out yet, so I'm grateful for that. And the only hard part's going to be is when the dog has to go to the bathroom. So I may just take her out right now again. I took her out this morning. I might take her out again and hope that she does all her business that she needs to do before it gets too heavy. I do have a nice Gore-Tex rain jacket from my military days. Actually, it was one that was issued to me in the military that I always wear usually in the wintertime and when it rains to take her out for a walk. It keeps me pretty dry, except for obviously the leg area. But I don't have any Gore-Tex pants because we didn't work outside. So they wouldn't issue us pants because we didn't work out on the flight line or whatever in the military. And it was like, no, you all don't need that. You're not outside enough to have to use that. So yeah. All right, everybody. I just wanted to pop in and share that we are under tropical storm warning watch. Tropical storm watch. I'm saying watch as in watching. And let me look at this again. I'm just keeping up with the radar to see where it is. See if I can make this bigger. So that is the current radar picture from weather.com, and it looks like, oh, that's what's supposed to happen early. It's not. Oh, this is the moving forecast. Let me wait for this to stop. Okay. Now, let's go to now. Well, now it shows this, and I'm where the little round circle is with the temperature, but it's not raining as if it's like that here. So I don't know. Let me make it bigger. Yeah, that's what the radar shows, and we're right here. It looks like there's a bit of the storm that's circling around, so we might miss it, a portion of it, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. Yeah, the big heavy rains look like they're in Baja and Tijuana area. So currently we're just watching and staying dry as we can, and it's thankfully, I'm just looking out there now. It's just like cloudy skies and a little bit of drizzle. So I'm grateful for that. I'll keep you guys updated, and hope those of you like me in Southern California have done something to prepare for things if the electricity goes out, or to stay safe. And while I'm thinking about this now, I need to pull out my extra power bank for my phone so I can plug that in and make sure that I have that extra bit of power should I need it. All right, everybody. I hope you all have a great day. Stay safe and see you soon. Nakupenda.